Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 21 Ignition Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today, we have racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway, but not on the paved Bristol Motor Speedway, the dirt Bristol Motor Speedway here coming your way. Last time I raced at Bristol Dirt on NASCAR 21 Ignition, it was pretty much unplayable. So now that the new patch has allowed you to take steering assist off, that really actually helped with this race specifically now, as I still needed traction control on. And it's absolutely baffling that you basically need assists to make this game playable. Nonetheless, excited for this race here at Bristol Dirt now, as I don't really have a lot of dirt racing experience, and I've done some on iRacing at Bristol Dirt here and there, but I don't think that was expecting that to at least translate very well over here into NASCAR 21 Ignition here, as we would get ready to make some laps during practice. I put up quite a few laps in this practice session, just trying to get a feel of the game, and with basically no cautions in NASCAR 21 Ignition currently, it is going to be absolutely crucial to be very, very patient on the throttle here in today's episode now, as we know for a fact that car is going to try and slip out at every single moment that it possibly can here now. So I didn't really know what to do with the setup. I think I ended up going actually with the one that was a little bit loose, but not too loose once again here now, as we would roll out of the garage area now. Here's a bunch of cars that already made some laps here now as I pull onto the track. So I was a little bit concerned with how this one was going to go. It's been a very up and down career mode so far. We've won a race, and then we've had very, very low lows already here with a bunch of just issues with this game. So, I was really concerned about this one, to be honest with you guys. I honestly thought I was not going to even be able to record this episode, but I was surprised. This turned out to be, honestly, the best race I've had so far in terms of racing against the AI and whatnot. So, as you see, Eric Almirola just turned head on into a concrete barrier there on the left now. So, I got some laps under my belt, and I was making some mistakes here right off the bat here, sending it a little bit too hard sometimes into the corners, a little bit too much throttle on exit. You can see that right there now, as I was having a really tough time keeping it straight on the exit of the corners, but we would call it a practice there, and well, our practice time still never ended up counting here as we would jump through into the qualifying session next. It's going to be very, very important to not make any slip-ups here in qualifying now, and I'm not too concerned, honestly, about where we qualify, because I'm noticing a trend with NASCAR 21 Ignition that every single long run, the AI are significantly slower than you. So it's more or less basically just try and survive as long as possible to get to that long run, and then things are going to kind of swing in your favor. So there you see a look at Austin Dillon there being interviewed on the pit lane here as we would get ready to make our laps. Daniel Suarez, actually in the 99 car, ran really, really good here at Bristol Dirt in real life earlier this year, and hopefully we can replicate the same amount of success that he had. He actually went up there and led some laps too, which was awesome to see as a Daniel Suarez fan. So we would get out here on the track though for a qualifying attempt. A little bit too much of a kick up there into turn 1 and out of turn 2. I felt like I did a pretty good job, got the power down, and didn't have too many issues right there as we went down this back straightaway into turn 3 though. Not really too bad through there as well, but right here is kind of where everything goes downhill. On the exit of turn 4, I lose the back end, and then I actually end up spinning the car out across the line. So that was the end of our lap, as you could imagine here. So we ended up qualifying down in 30th place here in Bristol Dirt. So we got some work to do. So we're going to head into the race here and send it over to Alex Hayden.
Welcome to the last great Coliseum here at Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm Alex Hayden, and today we're going to see Cup cars race on dirt for the first time in 50 years. This place challenges you every second, so there's no place to hide, and I know we're going to witness something extra special today. Getting ready to see the drivers push their cars to the limit as they slip and slide around on that beautiful red Tennessee clay.
All right, boys, I'll try my best to keep it clean in one piece. Keeping the car clean and just not wrecking at all is the main priority here today in Bristol Dirt as we are ready to get this race underway here. Now, from the 30th starting position, not where we want to be starting here, but obviously, like I said, if we can just survive to that long run, and when I say long run, that's only about 15 probably laps or so. So if we can just get through the first 15 laps, I think we'll be finding ourselves in pretty good shape here now as we get underway here from Bristol Dirt as the green flag is out down into turn when we go here. I'm going to probably be on the outside for the majority of this race. I don't think you're going to really see me on the inside unless I absolutely have to. A 3-wide move already on the exit of 2. I was in the outside wall as well already as we went down the back straightaway into turn 3, and so far we're making some good headway here on that outside now. Still 3-wide for a brief moment there as we're going to be just cleared there by the 77 of Justin Haley. Now, a nice little touch when you come to Bristol Dirt is to see the dirt build up on the car, not the AIs, unfortunately, just your car, and that's it here. Now, as we currently run in P27 here, just continuing to get up on that cushion. I remember from the dev diary for NASCAR 21, they talked about kind of dynamic tracks in this game, and I thought this would be the perfect example to see if that was actually true. You should see the dirt start move around based off of where the cars are running. You should see the cushion to start move around as well. None of that ever happened, so I really don't believe in the dynamic tracks whatsoever here in NASCAR 21 now, as we were though continuing to try and make progress here. Now behind the Stewart-Haas Racing duo of Chase Briscoe and Cole Custer. We had a run-in with Briscoe recently there where he turned us in the last episode after I cut down across his nose. But to lap 10 of 63, and not a very long race here in Bristol Dirt. It takes about 5 seconds longer per lap compared to a normal paved Bristol lap, or maybe 5 or 6 seconds or so. So they obviously take some laps off, but I feel like they've taken too many laps off of the lap counter here. This is not a very long race, so you don't got a lot of time to do much here now, as we are right there on the back of that 41 of Custer. And I mean, back to the lap amount, 22nd laps or so. So we're basically doing Martinsville pretty much, and a 25% race at Martinsville is over 100 laps. So we're basically just doing 63 Martinsville laps, it felt like. We do go to Martinsville, by the way, in the next episode here. Now, as I saw a big save from myself, and I quickly found out at Bristol Dirt, if you get a little bit too sideways, a little bit out of control, just hold the gas and the brake at the same time. It should straighten your car out, and that works in other racing games as well. I've used it in iRacing. I've used it recently, or not recently, previously in Formula 1 games. Not so much anymore. It doesn't seem to work like it used to, but that was definitely a trick you can get away with in a bunch of racing games, including what I found, NASCAR 21 Ignition as well here. Now, as to lap 17, we come through to the back of the number 8 Tyler Reddick there for Richard Childress Racing. You would expect to see him running a lot further up the order, but not having a great night or day for him so far here. Now, as we're on the back of the 10 of Eric Almirola. Denny Hamlin was running up front right now in control of this race here. Now, as he got up into the outside wall right there, not a big deal. Now, as we're 3 wide with Almirola and Reddick, as we just get completely ran out of room by Eric Almirola on the exit of turn 2, as I'm going to get right to the back of him. I decided, you know what, if you're just going to crowd me into the wall, I'm just going to use you up a little bit here, so I'm not going to hesitate to just sail it off up the inside like this right here on lap 19 and turn 3, and just kind of shove him up the track, and then he would actually try to fight back to the inside here on the exit of 4, but didn't have a whole lot of fight in him at that point. You're noticing now that things are starting to shift towards my favor here as the run gets longer now. So I had mentioned that happening, and I actually got tagged there on the left rear by Almirola, and that allowed him to get back out in front of me there. I had to kind of collect myself there, collect the car, but we would easily pass him no problem on the outside through 3 and 4. And it is crazy how significant the speed difference is between yourself and the AI once the runs get longer. Not sure how motorsport games let that happen, but hopefully that's something that they can get fixed here now. The long run speed definitely needs to be improved here in the future now, as we are going to try and go around the outside here of that 37 of Brees. A bit of a checkup right there through the center of the corner. Then I lost the back end because of that, and then lost the spot to Kurt Busch, and overall just lost a lot of time. Here comes the 7 of Corey LaJoie up the inside, but we get past him within like half a second there. As I got back to the 37 again and hit him again, and had another moment where we lost a bunch of time there, as they were just so slow through the center of the corners right there, running in 23rd place. So we would now just try to just get back in form here, settle down, calm down, and try and work our way through this pack here. Now, already closing in on the halfway point of this race, and this is one of the races where you do not need to make a pit stop. The AI will not pit here at Bristol Dirt. So it seems like at short tracks, the AI just decide that they do not need to pit for some reason here. Now, as we come through to lap 30, already trying to go around Bubba Wallace there for the 22nd position. What I was enjoying about this race, though, so far as we are now at the halfway point here in Bristol Dirt, is the AI weren't being stupid. They weren't terrible for the first time. Now, obviously, they're getting slower as the run goes longer, but they just weren't actually a pain to race against. They run me out of room a couple times, which was annoying, but overall, they were providing a relatively decent experience here. Obviously, still tons and tons and tons of work to do, but they were actually providing an enjoyable experience here at Bristol Dirt. I wasn't actually hating it this time around here now. As I can tell you, some of these races I recorded, specifically the mile and a half and then actually paved Bristol, has been a nightmare to do with the AI. So it was a bit of a nice change in atmosphere to race against them at Bristol Dirt. And once I kind of got the hang of things, the traction control was certainly helping, by the way. You absolutely have to have traction control on in the current state of the game, and it was making it a decent experience, like I said here. Now, as we were already dealing with lap traffic here on lap 36, now trying to run down Kyle Busch to enter into the top 15, and we were closing in on him very quick there, the two-time Cup Series champion, or the four-time Cup Series champion from my NASCAR Heat 5 career mode there in that number 18 M&M's Toyota Camry now, as we're going to close right up to his back bumper here now on the exit of turn 4. You're continuing to see me go nowhere near the inside line. I'm just continuing to run up top here now. Hit the wall a couple times here and there. Unfortunately, we haven't damaged the car. We haven't blown a tire, and I think we've been really lucky to not blow a tire this season yet due to hitting that outside wall, because eventually it is going to happen. Or we could blow a tire even with contact with someone here now, as we have made pretty heavy contact with a few cars at times. I saw the 17 get way out of shape right there on the exit of turn 4 now as we try to pass Chris Buescher and move up into P14, and a very easy pass on him it was now, as with just over 20 laps to go in this race, we were making up some really, really strong ground here now, and we might even have speed to potentially win this race. I knew, obviously, no cautions were coming out at this point. I knew there was no pit stops coming as well at this point, so I just had to try and focus and get as fast of laps as possible here. Now, as you see what was going on up front, Denny Hamlin was just continuing to put cars a lap down, as he was basically in a league of his own here today, now at Bristol Dirt, now all by himself out in front, as I'm continuing to move my way through some lap traffic. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just up in front of us, 4th position there, P13. You would expect, of course, to see Stenhouse run strong at a track like this, and he is putting up a strong performance so far there for that JTG number 47 Chevrolet Camaro here now, as we close in on the final 20 laps. Matt DiBenedetto currently runs in that 12th spot here now, as we try to get to his back bumper now. As you can see now, 43 laps, and you can tell that the track really hasn't changed here whatsoever. The dirt hasn't really moved around, unfortunately, now, as we're right to the back of the 78 of BJ McLeod. Matt DiBenedetto on the inside right there. We're going to go 3 wide to the outside and try to make that pass on him. We're really sideways right there, but thankfully we had the 21 there to kind of actually save us now as we come through to cross the line in the outside wall once again. But like I said, no damage done there to the car, thank goodness. We've had a rough season so far when it comes to damage now. We haven't been able to really stay away from it. So Daytona 500, and then like the last 2 or 3 episodes consecutive, we've had some issues with picking up damage on our car. But we got past the Benedetto, moved up into P13, and now to the outside of Stenhouse, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson all around here for position as well. Larson, you would expect to be probably one of the favorites alongside Christopher Bell here for the win today. But not a great run for Larson, and potentially just about threw my good run away right there. But thank goodness we saved it there through the center of 1 and 2 and continue on our way there to the back of Kyle Larson as we go down into turn 3 around the outside of him. Austin Dillon as well having a strong run, as we are hauling the mail compared to the AI on the outside line right there. Not a lot of room between the wall and that 62 as we come through with now a little bit over 15 laps to go in this race, and we have now entered the top 10 up into that 9th spot now, side by side with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. As we go down into the corner, we would get past him. We would run down the number 48 of Alex Bowman here now, just over 10 laps to go at this point, as Denny Hamlin continues to be in a league of his own. Christopher Bell running up there in P7, so a strong run for him. Chase Elliott up there in the 6th spot now, as he is trying to work his way through some lap traffic, but he saw me easily clear that number 48 of Alex Bowman now, as we continue to just run these drivers down now, as they really didn't have any fighting chance. And I have still yet in this game to actually have a true battle with any AI car. It's not a thing that I've experienced yet, which is weird to say the least. Now, NASCAR Heat 5, you always have AI battles that you're just scrapping it out with them sometimes, gaining a 10th here and there, losing a 10th. Then it just goes back and forth, and of course, it just leads to just great content, great battles on the track, and we just don't have that in this game. You're either way slower or you're way faster. There's no in between. It feels like so. Now though, up into P7, running down the number 9 of Chase Elliott, there, the defending Cup Series champion. We're going to look to the outside of him here with less than 10 laps to go at this point. Lap 57 of 63, and the outside wall again for probably the ninth time in this race, and thank goodness we somehow still have yet to cut a tire. Now I think you probably have to hit it pretty good. Then we would run down Truex there in fifth, Logano fourth. But look at this huge pack of cars coming up to the end of this race. So I knew it was pretty much guaranteed that we were going to be able to work our way up to maybe second, third place here, maybe even a win. Now, as I didn't know at this point in time who was leading, and for some reason, I don't know why, but the crowd was just going crazy all of a sudden here. I was looking around, I'm like, is like Chase Elliott wrecking Denny Hamlin right now or something, but it wasn't happening. So I have no idea what the heck that was all about. So we continue on our way, but look at this tear we're going on just on the outside now, into the outside wall again there. Alfredo up the inside as we go down into turn one. Now just 3 laps to go in Bristol Dirt. Harvick fourth position. William Byron is running second place here. We're about to pass William Byron on a charge from, I think, 30th place to second place in just 61 laps here from Bristol Dirt now. As we come through at a turn 4, it'll be 2 laps to go, trying to get to the outside of that 62 car. I think we've seen him every other lap, it feels like, at this point now. He's so slow. And then we continue to just rip that top there, throwing that back end out on the exit of turn 2 side by side with that Exalted Chevrolet just about there as he stayed clear down into turn 3, but now he sent it up the outside. And now the crowd goes crazy once again as Denny Hamlin takes the white flag here in Bristol Dirt. We're clear for second place, obviously nowhere near enough time to get to the 11 of Denny Hamlin. So at this point, we just bring the car home now through turns 1 and 2 on the exit of the corner, down the back straightaway, right to the back of the 96 of Ty Dillon. Going to go to the outside of him through 3 and 4 for the final time. Denny Hamlin, for the first time this season, wins at Bristol Dirt. We exit turn 4 on the quarter penalty. 8 nearly wrecked him, and we cross the line for a runner-up finish here of second place. So overall, strong run for us here, to say the least, at Bristol Dirt. There, as you see, the rest of the finishing order rounding out the top 10 was De Benedetto. Bubba Wallace rounds out the top 20, rounding out the top 30, Almirola there. As we go towards the next episode, it's going to be Martinsville Speedway at the Paperclip. Excited for that one. My favorite short track to race on, so hopefully we can have another strong effort there. Not really sure exactly what to expect from the AI over a long race. So experience this time around, it was actually solid. Was it great? Absolutely not. But it was probably one of the better experiences I've had with NASCAR 21 Ignition in terms of the game running smoothly and the AI being decent and not just causing calamity the whole time. So very impressed with Bristol Dirt. Not very impressed, but satisfied with the Bristol Dirt experience here from NASCAR 21 Ignition, at least for this episode in specific. Now, obviously, things can change here and there, and I don't know what to expect in Martinsville. I've seen a couple of races there, and they kind of run a bit of a weird line, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of pace as well we have against them. But as always, if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this episode and any other ones on the channel. So in the next one, hopefully we can get our second win of the season. There you see our stats. So we got 1 win, 1 pole, and 7 starts there, compared to Kevin Harvick, who's got over 700 starts and 50 wins or so. But like I said, that will do it, and I will see you guys in the next one. And of course, before we end it, just want to say thank you to the Going Racing members of MJ, Joseph 9001, Timothy Arline, Hayes Gaming, Brett Durward, Dark Gengar Gaming, Age of Asura, Russell Dixon, Kenneth Barnett, Dana 9302, Speed Demon 341, Alice Summary, D Muzzy 65, as well as Joe Brett. I appreciate you guys' support so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.